Why are we losing ourselves in online gaming? Online gaming has become an integral part of today's digital culture. Millions of people around the world immerse themselves in virtual worlds every day, spending hours in matches, farming resources, upgrading heroes, and competing with each other. But do we think about how it affects us? In this video, there's no moralizing, judging, or trying to save you from gamification. Instead, a calm and thoughtful conversation about what really happens when you spend thousands of hours online gaming. What session games are and why they're so appealing. Session games are projects where each game party session is limited in time, from 10 to 60 minutes, and that's it, the match is over. Examples: Dota 2, League of Legends, CSGO, Apex, PUBG, Hearthstone, and dozens of others. What makes them so popular? First of all, speed. You enter the game, start a match, and in half an hour you get the result, victory or defeat. It's fast, convenient, and gives instant feedback in the form of emotions. Secondly, competition. Online games are built around the competitive element. Everyone wants to be better, higher in the rankings, stronger in microcontrol. This feeds the ego, shapes goals, and turns every session into a challenge. Motivation. Why we come back again and again. In the initial stages, the player gets a tremendous boost of motivation. Everything is new, interesting, fresh, new mechanics, heroes, maps, tactics. Each victory causes excitement, each defeat, the desire to become better. It works at the level of chemistry. The brain releases dopamine, the hormone responsible for pleasure. You feel like you want more, so you get back in the game. But the problem is that this effect quickly wears off. Soon the emotion of victories dulls, and defeats begin to act destructively. Chasing numbers, ranks, LO, PTS. The competitive system is the core of most online games. Ranks, rankings, PTS, call it what you want. These are all numerical measures that seem to reflect your skill, but it's this system that often turns gaming into a chore. People spend hours chasing the rankings, forgetting about the fun. One question lodged in their minds is, what will the others say if I fall? The irony is that no matter how high you get, someone will still call you untalented, and you start to feel the constant pressure. You have to prove yourself, fit in, win, otherwise you're nothing. Loss of pleasure and increased aggression. Things change over time. What used to be a joy is now an annoyance. Allies' mistakes are infuriating. Your own blunders make you angry. Community is toxic. Positive emotions leave and are replaced by fatigue, apathy, and even aggression. You seem to come in to play a little for fun, but you come out of the match with a spoiled mood for the whole day, and you come back again. The hope that things will be different in the next rink is deceptive. This is the cycle of compulsive behavior. Compulsive behavior and gaming madness. Compulsive behavior is the repetition of the same actions in anticipation of a different outcome. Essentially, you run a game every day, knowing how it will end, but still hoping for a different outcome. Psychologists compare this to game madness, when a player seeks to bring back feelings from the past, when everything was for the first time, bright, emotional, new. But this is no longer achievable. This is a form of addiction, not physical, but emotional and mental, and it is harder to realize it than it seems. Why we can't say no. Many players say, I just like it, but do they like the game itself or the sense of belonging? The opportunity to feel like someone important, the opportunity to earn respect, a distraction from their problems. Sometimes the reason is trivial. In real life, there are no results, but in a game, you do. There you are, the top one, the winner, the hero of the arena. In reality, office, routine, uncertainty. In the game, everything is clear. The enemy is defeated. You are good. If you lose, you have a reason to keep fighting. Community and social harm. Toxicity in online games has become the norm. Aggression, insults, pressure, all this a player gets in every second match. And over the years, it affects behavior. Even if you yourself are an adequate person, a long stay in an aggressive environment does not pass without a trace. It affects your tone of communication, tolerance, emotional reactions, and if you decide to argue or try to educate such people, you will quickly realize that it is pointless. For many players, virtual rank has become the meaning of existence. This is their reality. Games and real-world consequences. Can we say that games kill? This is a debatable question, but what is certain is that if not moderated and self-controlled, they can be destructive. Emotionally, socially, sometimes even financially. Stories of online gaming causing tragedies are not fiction, they are reality. People have lost families, jobs, health. The reason is not in the games themselves, but in the subtle but deep addiction to them. Is there a silver lining? Yes, of course. Online games can teach teamwork, strategy, develop reactions, help you make friends, even become a profession. Cybersports, streaming, analytics are all real areas, but most remain so in the never-ending race for numbers. Instead of using games as a tool, they become hostages of the virtual progress system. Final thoughts. You don't have to quit playing games. You don't have to feel guilty about playing. But sometimes it's important to just ask yourself a question. Why am I getting into this game? How do I feel when I lose? Does it really bring me joy? If the answers make you think that's a good thing, it means you care about yourself and your life, and then it's up to you to choose. If you are close to this topic, put a like, subscribe, and write in the comments how online gaming has affected you. Make an informed choice, both in real life and in virtual life.